Hello and welcome to this tutorial video using the platform Hiration. Hiration is a AI powered platform that allows you to build and optimize job search documents. This video is going to focus on using Hiration for your resume creation. First things first, let's get started with how to access Hiration. The easiest and most effective way to get into Hiration is through the portal and accessing the Career Services page through the Resource tab. You're then able to select the Hiration tab in the middle of the screen. Once you access Hiration and are directed to the site, you're able to get to the Resume Builder dashboard. You'll notice that there is an option that allows you to create a new resume on the left-hand side. You're going to want to hover your cursor into the box with the plus and select the plus sign. Upon selecting that new resume option, you're going to be able to decide a resume design that you prefer. You'll notice there's a variety of options you can select. You're able to peruse, and then once you make a determination as to a resume template you would like to select, you're able to hover over it and then select the template. The next step of the process is going to be to determine how you want to get started, creating a new resume or uploading an existing resume. In most cases, we're going to highly recommend that you use the create a new resume option, which we'll highlight in a few moments. However, if you have an existing resume that is tailored to either the degree you're pursuing, the positions, the careers you are applying for, then you can go ahead and select the upload my resume. For demonstration and discussion of this tool, we're going to go to the create a new resume template. You are then able to select a variety of customized, tailored resumes based upon the program of study that you are pursuing. For demonstration today, we'll go into business and select the Accounting Associate of Science option. You will notice that there are a variety of different options, many of which have an entry level or experience depending upon the career and the degree you're pursuing. Once you select the appropriate uh, degree that you are pursuing, you are able to see a engineered resume template that is already formatted and has some placeholder sections with content. It's going to be important that you review each one of the sections and customize it specifically to your personal experiences, your professional experiences, skills you have ascertained. Make it your own. It's quite easy to do so. You'll essentially hover over each various sections with the cursor, and then you're able to click right in. Then you can make any updates just as you would in any other way. Type just as you would in a Word document or the like, and make any applicable changes. Again, these are examples of what a professional summary could look like and how your skills, education, and professional experience sections could be. It's going to be important that you make it your own. For example, in the key skills section, you'll notice that it has languages Spanish and as fluent and English as a native, meaning that you would be bilingual. You certainly want to make sure that it's a reflection of what you bring to the table from the various professional experiences you've had in education and training. Again, you'll want to make sure you review each section ensuring that you have the appropriate campus highlighted, your cumulative GPA if it's 3.5 or higher, and then your applicable graduation date that you notice here, and determine if you are able to list any recognition, dean's list, honors list, perhaps courses that you want to highlight that you have taken thus far, especially if you are pursuing the degree. It's a great reflection of where you're currently at and some of the experiences you've had if you're applying for positions. You'll then want to go to the professional experience section, and this is going to be where you'll probably take the most amount of time editing because, again, this is just a demonstration of positions you could have had or similar positions you could have had. So you'll really want to go ahead and update the bullet points so to the accomplishment statements you have, and ensuring that you have the appropriate dates of employment. You're able to then just, again, similarly as I showed before, hover over, make changes. If this is your current position, don't put the date of today, so the month and the year. Make sure you list present for any current positions that you have. If you noticed, for example, that there's a section that you don't have content for, like perhaps this leadership and community involvement, it's very easy to make changes and remove sections simply by hovering over the section, and you'll notice that you can click delete here. If you decide that you want to reorder your sections for any reason, once you hover over the section, you'll notice that a um, arrow will populate, and you're able to move it up and down as applicable. If you haven't noticed already, any changes that you make are automatically saved for you. So this allows you to have the document saved within Hiration. In a few moments, I'll show you how to get it out. But before I go there, if after you start making your changes, you notice, I really don't like the design option that I select, you don't have to start over. You're able to select on the left-hand side a different template, and you'll able to click on it, and it'll automatically make those changes for you. Again, saving it at this time. You may have recalled that I mentioned that Hiration is a AI powered tool. Let's talk about a couple of those AI features, starting with the resume review. You may or may not have noticed that as I was walking through how to edit and make changes to the various sections, that there was a score on the right-hand side. This gives you an idea. It scores a review of the content that currently exists on your resume and provides you feedback on what you can do to make changes to structure, skill level analysis, contact information, the chronology of your chronological resume, and then a bullet analysis. The green check marks articulate that you're doing very well, and the yellow exclamation point identifies perhaps that an area that you can improve upon. You'll notice that when I select that section, it actually brings the resume down to the parts that they are suggesting to make changes. We highly recommend you take this advice, and what you're able to do is you're able to individually click on each one of the various exclamation points and then go ahead and make changes. You'll notice that, for example, it tells you how that you can qualify, or that perhaps you've used the same language multiple times, as you see down here with oversaw. Again, this is just a way for you to update your resume so it best stands out. Another really cool resource within a feature of Hiration is the job match function. So not only are you able to edit the sections, have AI review the resume for you and provide you feedback on how to best improve the content you have, you can then determine, is this a good example for positions I'm applying for? Now, I went into Indeed and I found an accounting assistant position. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to copy and paste the applicable job description that was in the listing, and then select Analyze. What this feature does is it actually gives you guidance on how to best match or better match the position you're applying for. You may have found in the past that your application went into this black hole. Oftentimes, it's because the position that you applied for was not best articulated from the resume that you provided, even if it's an excellent resume. So you'll notice that based upon the position that I selected, I'm only at a 23% match based upon the content that currently exists on the resume. What it will articulate is specifically skills to better highlight and promote you as a better candidate if, of course, you have these skill set. So as demonstrated from the resume, there is a key skill section, and this is an excellent place where you can go ahead and update any of these critical skills that are missing from your resume and incorporate that. These skills can also be incorporated in any of your involvement from volunteerism and certain professional experience as well. What's really unique is that once you get your resume to a state with which you're satisfied, it matches what you're looking at, you're able to actually go right back to the dashboard. And then instead of just having it auto populate a various title for your resume, you can actually match it to the position you might be applying for or the positions that are applicable. So I'm just going to go ahead and list this as accounting assistant resume. That allows you then to easily download, will engineer a overview for you, and then you're able to easily save it into a PDF or Word, whichever is a preference for you. At that point, not only would it then be saved on perhaps your desktop or a personal folder, you also will have it live and stay within, again, Hiration on your dashboard. And then you can go ahead and either create a new resume, or upload an existing one. So for example, you could then from this point go in, upload the accounting assistant, and then continue this process over. I want to thank you for the time that you've taken today to have an overview of how you could use Hiration as not only a resume creation tool, but also using that AI powered features so that your resume, your applications can stand out amongst others. Thank you and have a great day.